My name is Brian Renzi. I'm the main installer for TruckVault in Washington. I'm going to give you some tips today on our all-weather product, on how to care for it. It's one of our leading sellers, and we want to help you keep it up and operational and looking good. Each four corners, you have a turnbuckle that's holding the vault to the vehicle. You also have a wing that's removable, and you just have two finger holes that you can pull up on. Now they do pull up a little bit hard. We want that to be a little bit harder so they don't fly off as you're driving down the highway. Once that's off, we can now access our turnbuckle. You can get a 9/16 and a 5/8 wrench, and there is a jam nut on there. So use the 5/8 wrench on the main part of the turnbuckle and a 9/16 on the nut and loosen it up. And then you just want to tighten it with your hand until it's snug and doesn't move around. And then once you're done with that, bring the jam nut back up to the center part of the turnbuckle and tighten them against each other. We do this so that the turnbuckle won't loosen up. So another thing you should check periodically is the operation of your lock. So when you shut the drawer and turn the lock up, it should be tight or snug against the front and not have slop like this one does. You can open the drawer, take an 18mm wrench, and then you're going to loosen the nut on the inside, turn it in a little bit, and then we'll tighten the nut on the outside a little bit. This will keep your drawer tight against the seal. Okay, right now I have it about where I want it. I can kind of feel it scrape the inside of the vault as I twist it up, and then when I push down on the lock, it pulls nice and tight, and you can see it pull the drawer front in a little bit. That's what we want. So now that we've got it where we want it, I'm gonna pull the drawer and just take and give that outside nut a decent snug. You don't have to over tighten. And then just check the operation one more time. And now you're nice and secure and watertight. Now we wanna take a look at that seal, kind of visually inspect it. And we looking right here, we got just a little bit of a cut right here, and so we can just take a little bit of super glue and we'll just open that up, let that just sit there and cure, and that will keep your seal together and keep the water out. Periodically you might want to pull your drawers and to check for debris that have collected behind them, or to apply some lubricant to the rollers. So to do that, there is two rubber drawer stops in each drawer. You just reach back, they're about 10 or so inches back, and it unscrews by hand. There's one on the left side and one on the right side, and then we can pull our drawer completely out, set it up on top of the vault, whichever you would choose. So now that we have the drawer out, first thing we want to do is kind of look into the back of the drawer and see if there's dust and dirt that is built up in there. If there is, you can use an air compressor, or as we're going to use today, just a leaf blower. It'd be good to take a stiff brush and you can get in here and just kind of sweep it out. So by doing this, keeping the drawer clear, you'll prevent any issues you may have of too much stuff getting in the back and your drawer not shutting all the way. We want to put some lubricant on the rollers in here. Today we're going to use some PB Blaster synthetic lubricant. Any silicone lubricant will work, and we're just going to spray just a little bit on each roller and let it soak down in there. That's a little more than needed, but it'll soak in. Getting back to the back ones might take a little getting to, but you can get to them. So one more thing while you have the drawer out, there's these two casters at the back of the drawer, and they could use just a little bit of lubricant every so often. So we'll just give it a little squirt on the inside and on the outside of that. Now they spin nice and free. Wipe up any excess, and that'll keep it spinning nice and free for a long time. Also a good idea to take a rag and wipe down this plastic on the sides, get all the dust off, and then that same lubricant we use, the PB Blaster, we'll just squirt a little bit on the rag. Another tool to keep the drawer sliding in and out smooth. Another thing you can do while you got your drawer out is take a vacuum and vacuum out this back corner, as it's sometimes hard to get to when it's inside. So we'll just clean it up as you see fit. We can look at the top as well as we're on this side, and if you see a small chip or something, maybe the size of your pinky or less, we have the black RTV silicone. Dab a little bit on there, doesn't take much, and then just use your finger to kind of spread it out, and then you can let it dry for about a minute or so, and it'll kind of get a texture that looks just like the top. So we want to check this seam right here. Just kind of run your finger down and visually inspect it as you're going down, and look for any signs of cracks or anything like that. All right, so as we were inspecting this one, we found just a couple small chips right here, and we're going to go ahead and address that with our silicone. Put just a little bit on there like that, and just take your finger and kind of spread it out like that, and that will dry and that part won't leak. So now that we got everything else done, we want to just address the outside of the vault, make it look nicer. So we're just gonna use some soap, mild soap and water, nothing with bleach or chlorine in it, and you can use a sponge or a scrub brush and get some of that dirt off and make it look like new again. All right, now that we got this all scrubbed up, we'll just take our hose and we're just gonna spray it on down, get all this dirt off. We've scrubbed it down and rinsed it off. If you want that little extra shine, you can use some Pledge, and that's just gonna give you that brand new shiny look. That's just some of the steps that we would recommend to keep your truck vault looking new and lasting a long time.